Lord Kagemitsu Daigo waits outside as his wife, Nuinokata, gives birth. While waiting, he begins to recall the deal he made with the 12 demons in the Hall of Hell. He had taken a dark path and accepted their terms in exchange for power. Inevitably, the time has come for them to accept their payment, and they do so by making his first child born without limbs, facial features, or skin. As a result, the newborn baby is abandoned and placed in a basket for the waves of the river to take away. 16 years after the horrible incident, the baby is now a young man, traveling alone with the help of a prosthesis made by a certain Dr. Jukai. One day, while he's searching for the sludge-like demon Daiki, he comes across a group of men beating up a young boy who is also a petty thief named Dororo because he scammed them of their goods. Just then, the sludge-like demon emerges and tries to eat the men, but he quickly uses the blade in his prosthetic arms to kill the demon. As soon as he kills it, a bolt of lightning strikes a demon statue in the Hall of Hell, and at the same time, the young man's skin reappears all over his body. Meanwhile, back in Ishikawa, where he was born, Daigo's second son, Tahumaru, returns from a hunting trip, but it's obvious that his mother, Nuinokata, still hasn't moved on after losing her first son so many years ago. After the unnamed hero kills the demon, it seems that he is blind, deaf, and unable to speak. Dororo, however, follows the guy who just saved him from two big problems. It's quite obvious that these disabilities don't hold him back, seeing that he just slaughtered a huge demon with his incredible sword skills, superhuman strength, and the ability to discern people's souls by differentiating friendly and unfriendly people by the color of their soul. Dororo leads him to a village led by a beautiful woman named Bandai, where he offers to slay a monster in the village that rings a pilgrim bell for free. In the village, they come across a blind monk named Biwa Hoshi, who can also detect the nature of people's souls by color. After spending some time in the village, they realize that Bandai is the notorious demon that has been eating travelers, so the young hero kills her. We finally get to know his name when he reveals that his name is Hyakamaru to Dororo and the monk. Not long after killing the demon, Bandai's statue in the Hall of Hell is destroyed by lightning, and it causes Hyakamaru to regain sensation, allowing him to feel pain for the first time. Meanwhile, back in Ishikawa, Daigo is informed that the Sakai clan is getting ready for battle. Elsewhere, the story of Jukai Sensei is revealed. The doctor heals the sick and makes prostheses for those who lost their limb. He once worked for Lord Shiba, that was, until his loved one was killed by Shiba soldiers. This led him to resign as a crucifier working under Shiba and ran into the sea. Jukai was later rescued by foreigners and learned how to make the prosthesis. One day, he found Hyakamaru, the deformed infant, at the riverbank. He took him home and made a special prosthesis for him so he could look more like a normal child and also allow him to move around. 6 years after that, Jukai named him Hyakamaru, and one day, the little boy killed the lizard demon, which made his right leg mysteriously reappear. That was when Jukai concluded that Hyakamaru attracts demons and his body parts were stolen by them. To help him stand a chance against the demons, Jukai fitted swords into his prosthetic limbs before he embarked on a journey alone. Back in the present, Hyakamaru wakes up and decides to explore his newfound ability to feel pain. While Hyakamaru stands in the rain to experience the feeling for the first time, Dororo converses with a girl named Osushi. While that's still happening, Hyakamaru's attention is suddenly drawn when he detects a demon sword coming from the bushes. He follows his hunch into the bush, where he encounters a man holding the sword. The two clash blades, and eventually, Hyakamaru manages to defeat the man by trapping his sword on his prosthetic leg. Afterward, Dororo picks up the leg with the sword in it, and it's pulled back to its owner, who just happens to be Osushi's brother, named Tanosuke. Even after Osushi takes her brother home to nurse him, he's only concerned with getting the sword back. Tanosuke reminisces about how he got the demon blade Nihiro, and how it changes him with its thirst for blood. Later, he finally retrieves the sword and immediately attacks Hyakamaru. They go for round 2 of an intense sword fight, but this time, Hyakamaru kills Tanosuke and breaks the sword. Afterward, his ears are also magically restored. One night, Hyakkimaru is still finding it difficult to adjust to his new hearing ability when he's suddenly attacked by a giant bird-like monster. It subdues him for a brief moment before the monk, Hiwaboshi, comes to his rescue and kills the beast. They're informed that they're now in Sakai territory, the people who prepare to go to war with the Daigo clan. The next day, Hyakkimaru's attention is drawn to a woman named Mio when she sings a beautiful song. The travelers are settled in with Mio and some orphans in a temple. She takes care of them by day and by night. She serves the Sakai soldiers as a prostitute. Later, Hiwaboshi finds a new place for them to stay, but unbeknownst to him, it's inhabited by a demon. Even though his wounds haven't healed completely, Hyakkimaru goes to fight, and Hiwaboshi gets concerned when he sees that the young boy's aura is changing color to that of a demon. They come across a demon called a Rijigoku, which bites off the lower half of Hyakkimaru's real leg. Elsewhere, that night, Mio goes to see the Sakai troops as usual, and Dororo discovers what she does with them. Hiwaboshi assists Hyakkimaru back to Mio's camp with half of his leg gone. However, they notice that he's regained his voice. Dororo mischievously asks the other children if they know about Mio's night job, but they're all clueless. As the time goes on, Hyakkimaru gets the hang of his hearing ability with Mio's help. They spend a lot of time together, so they begin to develop feelings for one another, which causes the red color in his aura to gradually disappear. His wounds aren't healed yet, but the young man sets out to kill the Arijigoku demon. This time, he succeeds in killing it, which restores his leg. Unfortunately, when he returns to the camp, he finds Mio and some of the orphans mortally wounded by the Daigo troops because they believe she's a Sakai spy. After seeing this, Hyakkimaru is beyond furious, and so he begins a frenzied onslaught on the soldiers, slaughtering them mercilessly until Dororo intervenes, fearing that if he continues, he might transform into a demon. Afterward, Dororo finds some precious seed rice in Mio's hand, which she had stolen from a samurai she hated. After burying Mio and the dead children, Hyakkimaru and Dororo continue their journey. Along the way, they come across a female spider-like demon, Jorogumo, holding a man captive. Hyakkimaru attacks the demon and injures her, but she manages to escape. Not long after, Hyakkimaru and Dororo enter a village where the men mysteriously go missing at night. The next day, a man named Yajiro finds the injured demon disguised as a beautiful woman. He takes her home and feeds her some ohagi and eventually names her Ohagi. As a result of Yajiro's kindness, the demon resists the urge to eat him, even though she's extremely hungry. Later, the villagers discover that the missing men were not captured or killed, but that Yajiro was helping them escape from the oppressive local lord. Yajiro attempts to help Ohagi flee the village, but they are intercepted by Hyakkimaru. They manage to escape to a secret passage in the mountain, but the Lord's troops find him there. Yajiro is injured after the troops attack them. This causes Ohagi to take her true demon form in rage and attack the soldiers. Not long after she kills the soldiers, Hyakkimaru finds her and prepares to attack, but he stops when he sees how concerned she is for Yajiro. She cares so much that the red color in her aura starts to fade, so Hyakkimaru lets her go. In a village, a dark cloud containing the demon Nokosaragumo hovers over the village. The villagers quickly start to prepare a woman as a sacrificial bride for the demon. On their journey, Hyakkimaru and Dororo see a young boy named Saru attempting to stop the bridal parade. Saru tells him about the demon and begs him to save his sister, so they agree to kill the demon. When they try to fight it, a dark cloud covers them, and the demon materializes as a centipede. Hyakkimaru finds it difficult to differentiate the demon from the cloud because they both possess the red-colored aura, which allows the demon to then swallow the young girl. The three boys come up with a plan to blow up the monster, but it proves futile, so Dororo decides to jump on the demon's head to guide Hyakkimaru to the target. He manages to locate it and kills it, causing the dark cloud to disperse. Thankfully, the young girl is still alive, so Saru is glad to see her. After killing the demon, Hyakkimaru regains his sense of smell, and for the first time, he calls Dororo by his name. That brings us to the end of today's recap on Dororo. I hope you enjoyed this recap as much as I did. Please hit the thumbs up button, subscribe, and kindly comment below if you'd like to see the next part. Bye and thanks for watching. See you next time.